गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We are looking at yesterday. What is this evolutionary process and what is the possibilities that are available for us? And here the scripture says, if you can just listen, Jantunam narajanma durlabhamataha punstvam tato viprata tasmadvaidika dharma marga parata Vidvatvamasyat param Atmanatma vivechanam svanubhavo Brahmatmana sanstitihi Muktirno shata janma koti sukritaihi Punyairvena labhyate. Jantunam narajanma durlabhamata. Among all living creatures, human being is the most coveted one. After many births. Which births? Past births. How do you know? Scriptures are telling us somewhere we must have faith, na? Kahin pe to shraddha honi chahiye. So if scriptures are telling you that after many going through different 84 lakh unit, 84 lakh wombs, you have now come to the human birth. Don't waste it. So here it says, it's very hard. Now remember, think when you are going to sleep. What is the last thought in your mind? Do you have control over it? Or just by chance it is coming? Sometimes it is of wealth, sometimes it is of desire, sometimes it is of lust, sometimes it is of memories, sometimes it is of parents, sometimes it is of our friends, sometimes it is about disease, isn't it? Imagine, you have a doggy and you are dying and last thought by mistake. But it's not a mistake. Why? You are so attached to the dog that while you are dying, you may have done lot of japa and puja and this and that. But at last moment, when you are breathing your last, you think of your Rocky, you die. What will be your next birth? Rocky. Doggy. Scriptures say that whatever is the last thought at the time of death, that determines your next birth. So if you are in this human birth, you must have done something. You must be attached to your wife or you must be attached to your husband. So usually the wife becomes the husband in the next birth and the husband becomes the wife in the next birth, if they are in love or if they are committed to each other. आजकल तो सब confusion चल रहा है. तो जंतु नाम नर जन्म दुर्लभमतः पुंस्त्वं ततो विप्रता. And many you see around in life, many times the child is conceived, miscarriages are there, abortions are there. Sometimes the child doesn't even grow up, some accident, something happens. How many times we have come across people? Sydney mein just few years ago, one lady, 1.5-year-old boy, 2-year-old boy, and she got into her 4-wheel drive. The child came out without her realizing it. It came under the tire. The skull got crushed. Young baby, young boy, young child. The bones are not strong enough yet. She was acquitted by the court. It was a mistake, isn't it? Another person in Sydney, the person, he had some breathing problem. They took him to the hospital. God knows what the doctors gave him the medicine. He became a paraplegic for the rest of his life. He lived till 27, then he passed away. Couldn't eat, couldn't walk, couldn't hold a spoon, couldn't speak, just lying in the bed. Some healthy boy. We only think that it happens to others. It doesn't happen to us. It will not happen to anyone in our family. But the fact is, it does happen. So here when it says that that having got a human birth and having grown up to be a man, grown up to be a person, you are indeed lucky. Indeed, the grace is there. Now then what? Tasmaid Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata. Having become matured, grown fully into a human being, meaning as a woman or a man, now don't waste time. Here it says, then live a life of sattvikta, live a life of purity. And where do you live life of purity? Manasa, vacha, kaya. Think pure thoughts, speak pure words, means those which do not hurt anyone, and also do pure actions. Some of you just did, or we are all doing it. Before eating food, we wash our hands. It's purifying your hand. Simple as that. So, tasmaid Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata. Indeed, it is first rarity was getting a human birth. Second rarity was reaching manhood or adulthood. Third rarity is that after reaching, after having been grown up, you are interested in the Vedic Dharma. So if you are all coming here to this retreat, doing yoga, listening to Satsang, indeed some good has happened. It is indeed God's grace that it has brought you here. It cannot be. It is like a invitation. Taste. You come here, you check it out. Maybe it will help you. Some of you will pursue it. Maybe some of you will continue doing yoga. Maybe some of you will say, yes, there is some greater purpose to life than just living for the heck of it. So rarer is a person who is interested in the Vedic Dharma. Third, Vidvat Masmat Param, and indeed greater than being interested in the Vedic Dharma or the Sanatan Dharma or the scriptures is coming across a master. See, these are all rarities. So you are already got the human birth, you are already adults, you are all doing some pothi or something at home, and that is also there. Next is, we have to come across a great masters. Many of us have to come across. Then after that what? Atmanatma vivechanam svanubhavo brahmatmana sanstitihi. Don't go to Mahatmas, realized masters. Swamiji, please bless my child. Swamiji, please bless me if I can get a better job with more payment, more salary. Swamiji, should I go to America or should I go to England? Swamiji, what sadhana should I do? Etc., etc., etc. My child is not listening to me. My wife is not listening to me. My husband is not listening to me. महात्मा के पास जाके ये फालतू के क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं. तो महात्मा के पास जाके पूछना क्या है? What should we ask when we come in front of a teacher? Like someone tried to ask me, Swamiji, where do you belong? I said, India. Then he said, no, I mean, which part of India you are coming from? I said, forget it, man, I will not tell. Suddenly, I don't know if that gentleman is here, but suddenly he remembered in that one moment, yesterday after dinner, in that one moment he remembered that his mother used to tell him as a child that you should never ask the past of Mahatmas, and you should never look for where the river has begun from. See? Suddenly, what his mother was telling him, he never regarded it as important. But yesterday, when he heard, suddenly it took him back to the foundation which mother had already put in. Huh? So, when we go to the Mahatmas, what do? We should ask about Atma, Anatma, Vivek. Vivek means discrimination. Discrimination doesn't mean should I eat vegetarian or non-veg. Discrimination means, Vivek means to differentiate between what is Chaitanya and what is not Chaitanya. What is Jad. That is discrimination. And if we have been born as, again I am repeating, this is the essence. If we have been born as a human being, it is rare. You have reached adulthood, it is rare. Look at all in the Palestine and Israel. When the bomb comes, gone. All those youngsters fighting from the Palestine side, gone. These youngsters, 20, 25, 30 years old, going to fight the Palestinians, they are also gone. So when that moment comes in our life, we don't know. The world is changing very fast right now. So we want to go beyond the world. We want to go beyond the world. We want to expand our consciousness. So to expand the consciousness, you don't ask after going to the teacher something about the world. You ask him about consciousness. You ask him about Atma, Anatma, Viveka. That what is Chaitanya, what is spirit, and what is matter. How do I separate spirit from the matter? What is the vision of the spirit towards the matter? Who is God? What is this world? Is there a beginning or there is an end of this creation? Is it the only creation? And who am I in the end? Who am I? Am I this? Yesterday someone asked me in the car, Swamiji, is there consciousness in the dream? Who asked? You asked? I don't know. Someone asked.
I asked.
You asked. Is there consciousness? यही question था ना?
I asked the dream, when we have dreams, that is our consciousness or subconsciousness?
Oh, okay.
The people are related to us. Like
Correct.
family members.
Correct.
or some-
So when we ask this question, is the waking consciousness real, or is the dream consciousness real? Am I dead in sleep or am I awake in sleep? ये important questions है. ये question important है कि पता होना चाहिए. नहीं तो ऐरा गहरा नत्तू गहरा कोई भी आके कुछ बोल के जाता है, हम उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लेते हैं और बाद में परेशान होकर घूमते रहते हैं. तो जब महात्मा के सामने हैं, महात्माओं के पास जाते हैं, उनके दर्शन करते हैं, उनका आशीर्वाद लेते हैं, सिर्फ आशीर्वाद नहीं हमें कुछ नहीं चाहिए. अरे नहीं, पूछो, प्रश्न पूछो, और वो प्रश्न पूछो. आस्क सच अ क्वेश्चन which you have been thinking about. And what you should be thinking about? Atma, Anatma, Vivek. What is the difference between spirit and matter? Which is real? Is spirit real or is matter real? Atma, Anatma, Vivechanam, Swanubhavo. And come to realize the spirit. After having met the Mahatmas, and when they are, whether you ask or not, they are always talking to you about this only. That you are the infinite consciousness. That you are of the nature of God. That you are limitless. You are infinite. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarup. This is your true nature. Then what you should do after you hear that? You should try to realize it. Try to meditate. Mahatma is also saying the same thing. Why is he saying? Because he has experienced it. What are the scriptures saying? Whether you read Das Bodh, whether you read Guru Satcharitra, or you read Gajanan Pothi, anything you read, everywhere same thing is being told, that you are the consciousness, you are the infinite one. अच्छा ठीक है, कल कौन से मंदिर में जा रहे हैं? नहीं, मैं मजाक कर रहा हूँ, तुम सीरियसली ले रहे हो. यहाँ बात चल रही, here we are talking about spirit, here we are talking about infinite consciousness, that is our nature. And where are we stuck? Think. So don't waste your time. That is what the scripture is saying. Then Brahmatmana sanstitihi. Contemplate on what the teachers have said, contemplate on what the scriptures have said, and attain to the consciousness that you are. Abide in that. Why? Because all the rarities, you got the first rarity, human birth. Second rarity, you reached adulthood without dying. Third rarity, you have interest in scriptures. Fourth rarity, you found a teacher. Fifth rarity, you are inspired to contemplate on it. Now, don't waste time. Muktirno shata janma koti sakritaihi punyirvena labhyate. So here it is told, Muktirno shata janma koti sakritaihi. Liberation, nirvana, Atma Sakshatkar is not a matter of chance. It doesn't happen by fluke. It doesn't happen by copy paste. It doesn't happen by only reading. It doesn't happen by only asking. It will happen only when you contemplate on it within yourself. So, Muktaino jana shata janma koti sakritaihi punyairvenana labhyate. And you have gone through so many lives, and you have lived somewhere. See, even in human birth, यहाँ पे आजकल जो बताते हैं ब्राह्मण क्षत्रिय वैश्य शूद्र, and they are making it into a big issue in reservation, etc., etc. But our scriptures never say that. Our scriptures, yes, Vedic Dharma is those people who accept Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra are Vedic. Those who do not accept, they are Nastic. But what is this Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra? Every child is born a Shudra. Shudra means he who or she who is, the child is totally dependent on others for its survival. That is Shudrata. It doesn't know how to clean itself, it doesn't know how to eat itself, it doesn't know how to change clothes itself, it doesn't know how to bathe itself. पड़ा हुआ है, कोई आके साफ कर देगा लंगोट तो साफ हो जाएगी, कोई आके खिला देगा तो खा लेंगे. Isn't it? Shudrata means total dependence, whether on people or on government. In Australia, we got majority people are Shudra. Why? All living on dole, government handout. आज कल ही कोई बात कर रहे थे ना, दोपहर को बात कर. So that is Shudrata. So now, because nowadays what is happening, that someone born in Brahmin family, his child is also Brahmin. A person born in Kshatriya family, the child is also Kshatriya. Our scriptures do not accept that. ये इसके बारे में कोई बोलता नहीं है. Our scriptures say every child is born a Shudra. By his karma and by his gyaan, he determines what his place is in the society. Is it going to be as a Shudra or a Vaishya? If he is interested in wealth, he is a Vaishya. He works, puts efforts towards generating wealth, he is a Vaishya. If he has got commanding abilities, managerial abilities, he is dynamic, he is a warrior, he has courage, he is a Kshatriya. And if that person, it's a process. It's a process. If that person becomes total, has vairagya towards the wealth and desires and the society, and is only interested in Atma Gyan, then he is a Brahmin. The Brahmin also lives at the mercy of others. Shudra also lives at the mercy of others. But the Shudra lives at the mercy of others out of ignorance. There is no development. He is lazy. He doesn't know. Whereas Brahmin lives at the mercy of others. He lives on alms. Today तो अलग बात है. ब्राह्मण बोलते हैं हम ब्राह्मण हैं पर मीट खाते हैं. That is not the way. तो बट नाम ब्राह्मण ब्राह्मण हूँ पर भगवान को मानते नहीं है. मेलबर्न में ऐसे भी लोग हैं. जिस दिन पूजा करनी होती है, ही डज पूजा. जिस दिन पूजा करनी होती है उस दिन मीट नहीं खाते, बाकी दिन मीट खाते हैं. ऐसे भी हैं. बट दैट वाज दे केम देयर 40-50 years ago. दैट टाइम और कुछ था भी नहीं. क्या कर सकते हो. बट अब जब कुछ सब कुछ है तो यू चेंज. सी and they used to argue with me that Krishna is not there. There is nothing called Krishna. It's only a figment of imagination. There is nothing called Rama. There is only just a imagination of someone and of fantastic storytelling. और पूजा करते हैं कृष्ण भगवान की. See the hypocrisy. See. So here he says that after so many wombs you have gone through and you have come and you maybe even in human birth as a human being you have gone through many human lives, and in each life if we have lived a life of purity, life of God, realize somewhere even one thought, it will propel you to a higher birth in the next life, higher intelligence in the next life. And now you have come here and you are doing yoga also and you are listening to Vedanta also. तो कुछ तो किया होगा पीछे, कुछ तो पिछले जन्म में कुछ तो किया होगा कि यहाँ तक आ गए हैं. तो इसलिए that it is a rare opportunity, a rare window of opportunity that we are here at this moment. Nothing is by chance. It's not a fluke that we have all come together. Nothing in life is coincidence. It is perfect organization. Yesterday we went out and we saw the stars. Yes. Have they changed? All the जो भी आप बता रहे थे कैमरा को देख के, those stars have been there, isn't it? Suddenly sun doesn't decide that I'm going to rise from the west. It keeps coming from the west, east only, isn't it? So everything is perfect order. All the planets are living within their limits, within their spheres of operation, including gods. Including gods. Sun cannot say that I will become moon. That बहुत गर्मी हो गई. Brahma ji doesn't say that यार मैं तो creation कर करके थक गया. I want to do some destruction now. He can't change his job position. He can't change his. He's stuck permanently. No liberation for them. Seriously, I'm not joking. All gods or demigods, sun, moon, Saturn, Yamaraj, this, that, everyone, they are all stuck in their position and they cannot get out of that position. If they want to realize the truth, they need to take a human birth first. Even gods, if they need to realize the self, they want liberation, they have to take birth as a human being. Indra is in the heavens. उसको भूख नहीं लगती, उसको प्यास नहीं लगती, उसका there is no old age and death for him. He is enjoying life. यहाँ तक कि वो नीचे अर्थ पे आके फिर बाकियों को भी तंग करता है. राक्षस as much as asuras are lusting for the wealth, Indra is equally. But he has a little bit of thinking कि whenever problem comes, he goes to the Lord. Narayana, Brahmaji mainly. Then Brahmaji takes them to Shiva or Narayana. But if they need liberation, remember Ashtavasus, the one of them was Bhishmacharya. In order to undo the mistake that they had done, they had to take human birth to undo their, to be free of that. And seven of them were done, and then our Bhishmacharya, Shantanu says, hey, why so many kids you are drowning? At least I want a son, and why? And she leaves him. She says, no, I will send him after 16 years. She takes him to heaven, trains him and sends him back. So liberation, now what point we are making here is, liberation is only possible through human birth. It is not possible through asuric birth. It is not possible through Daivik birth. Only as a human being. And what are you? Human being. This is the rarity. This is the window of opportunity. Don't waste it. And where do we waste it? In pursuit of the world. We want to experience the world. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. But keep one part of your mind attached to the the spirit, the Atmik Tattva. In this manner, the scripture here is guiding us. Then he says that, and therefore, दुर्लभम त्रयमेवैतद् देवानुग्रह हेतुकं मनुष्यत्वं मुमुक्षुत्वं महापुरुष संश्रयः. What I just told you is being told here. This is the rarity of the a human birth and greatness. And what is that? After having human birth, these three things are Trayameva tad anugraha hetukam. So, first one is that the human birth is rare. After that, a desire to liberate, desire to merge into the Lord or divine. If that thought is coming, that is also very rare. And then, even rarer is that the grace of the Guru and the Lord to come into our life. What have we done in our life? Do you breathe by your own choice? Does hunger come by your own choice? Now I'm going to feel hungry. Does it come? As you get old, you can't even sleep by your own choice. No, I'm going to sleep. But half the night I'm awake. Then we want sleeping pills. Did we grow by our own choice? Automatically? Did our parents pull us up? No, you have to grow further, you have to grow longer, taller. No, everything is happening. From the time we didn't even come into this world by our own choice. If you take it as a human being. So we just popped out. Then the doctor gave one pachak and the breath started. Then hunger, first thing hunger. The sound started. That child doesn't have the intellect to decide that I'm going to do this or going to do that, isn't it? Everything is happening. So if in our life human birth has happened, if in our life yearning for liberation is there, that is rare. And if in our life the Master, the God, our love for the Lord is there and a Guru Maharaj has come into our life, that is another rarity. You are blessed. Take advantage of it. And run. Don't walk. Run. Because when death is going to come, we don't know. There is no guarantee that tomorrow I am going to wake up or not. While going back, I can have an accident. Story over. we all feel, अरे बेचारा, दूसरे को किसी को हो गया बेचारा. But we never feel that it can happen to us also. If we can realize this, that it can, anything like, something like this can happen to us, that from one day to the next, from one breath to the next breath, we can be gone, then the urgency will come. That can I escape death? Can I be there like Nachiketa and saying that, Ayao, Yamraj, I am ready. You heard the Nachiketa story? Nachiketa was a small boy, just in short. His father, in the old times, their wealth was only cows and gold. So the father, every decade, he will take everything and he'll do a huge yajna, and in that, after that yajna is there, whatever wealth he had, he will give it out as dakshina to all the people in his kingdom, and then start all over again. So no attachment basically. This time when he is doing, he has a child by the name of Nachiket, who is only 6-7 years old, who is studying under his father all the scriptures. And again this time comes to do the havan and puja and give out everything. Now this father has attachment to his son, so he says, I'll give everything, but what is he giving? He is giving old cows, almost going to die cows, but with golden horns, those cows which can give no milk. They can, or those bulls which cannot even, you cannot use them in the farm. It's a burden to people whom he is giving. And the son looks at his father, he says, instead of saying, Father, you are doing it wrong, that is not etiquette. What does he say? He says, Father, Daddy, lungi khiste hain. Aur kehte hain, whom will you give me? Father says, get away, I am doing some work, man. Again, after some time, he comes, Daddy, whom will you give me? Again, he goes away, pushes him away. Third time when he comes, it's like irritating, So he says, go, I give you to death. Ja, bolte hai na Hindi mein, ja mar ja. Go, I give you to death. So the child, this is Shraddha. The child doesn't think, oh, Daddy has told me to go to death, Daddy doesn't love me, this, that. No. That 6-7-year-old child, he thinks contrary to this. He says, if Dad has told me that I give you to death, he must be knowing that I know the way to go to death. He must be knowing. If he doesn't know, why will he say, go, I give you to death, go to death? He must be knowing. No, I have to explore how I am going to go to death. You also explore. And he finds himself at the doorway of Yamapuri. And when he stays there, 3 nights and 3 days he stays there. Yamaraj has gone out for a vacation. He comes back. And when he comes back, the Yamadutas, they say, Sir, this young Brahmin boy is sitting outside for 3 days and 3 nights. He's been waiting for you. Arey, Brahman ko tumne bahar rakha. Please bring him in. And immediately he takes us Sankalpa, I give you 3 boons. A Brahmin person should not be kept waiting. So, what do you want, child? The child is so smart. In the first question, he says, by your grace, when I go back to earth, let my father recognize me as I left him. See? Because by the time you go to death and come back, time has passed. So he first, second boon, something. Third, then what else? What is the third boon? Third boon who says, I want to know that, this is for you all also, I want to know that by knowing which nothing else remains to be known. I want to know that by knowing which nothing else remains to be known. Now you watch your life. We went to Valneshwar temple, we went to Ganesh temple. I didn't know, now I know. How much am I going to travel in the world? Can I come to know everything in the world? We have started exploring space, we have started going into the water, oceans. Have we been able to discover everything? Not possible. Or not possible means it's so vast. It's so vast that in one lifetime everything is not possible. And the world is continuously changing. New species are coming, old species are dying. तो जब तक इनको कुछ कहीं they say, oh, this is our data, next year it's changed again. This year they say this medicine will work, 10 years later they say, oh, we made a mistake, change again. So the child is smart. He says, I want to know that, by knowing which there is nothing else remaining to be known. And I know that you know it, Yamaraj. So please tell me. Yamaraj says, kya karega yaar? I don't know. He says, no, I know you know. He says, no, I'll give you wealth, I'll give you palaces, I'll give you apsaras, I'll give you golden chariots, I'll make you the master of the whole earth. He says, all that is okay. But does that give me, will I come to know, if I have all that, will I come to know that by which nothing else remains to be known? Yaar, tu to pakka hai. And you know what Yamaraj says? That when I was a child, I also asked this question. I wanted to be the master of death. But you are one step ahead of me. You are focused on Atma. Yamaraj ji used to do lot of havan, puja, etc. And he wanted to, and by holding pranayam, doing various kriyas, by invoking the gods, what he wanted? He wanted to be the lord of death. And he eventually gets the blessings of the Bhagwan, Ishvara, and he is given the position lord of death. He has the knowledge of what the truth is, but he is stuck in his position. The sun knows what the truth is. कृष्ण भगवान ने कहा सबसे पहले मैंने ज्ञान किसको दिया था? सूर्य देवता को दिया था. हनुमान जी learned all the knowledge from sun god. But even though he has the knowledge, but he is stuck in his position. Similarly, all others. Even the Saptarishis are stuck in their position. They also cannot realize. Only you can realize it. You are a human being. This is the rarity. So don't waste it. Make a commitment today that I am going to make good of this birth that I have got. We have eaten, we have drunk, we have traveled, we have danced, we have got married, we have had children, you have contributed to the society. What next? Every time the question is, what next? So you come to India. So many Westerners are coming to India. They want to chant Radhe Radhe. Go to, this time I went to Mayapur, near Calcutta. Itna, all foreigners only there. Oh, chanting away, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. And they are wealthy people from other countries. What is that is bringing them here? And we are of this country. And we are not recognizing the greatness, the rarity. You are born in Bharat. They are not born in Bharat. They have to learn our culture. They have to give up their Jesus and fall in love with Krishna. Or recognize that everything is Krishna alone. And they gave up their lifestyle and are living here according to your lifestyle, Indian lifestyle, Bharatiya lifestyle, and we are forgetting our Bharatiya lifestyle, wearing jeans, pants, and they are wearing saris. They are putting the bindi, they are putting choti. सबको देखो जाके उधर. and they are lost in God's name. They are lost in spirituality. We are also lost in spirituality. Different one. Liquid spirituality. See? We are mimicking them and they are mimicking us. Mimicry मतलब कॉपी कर रहे हैं. देखो तो ये जो हमको हम भारत में पैदा हुए हैं, it itself is a great blessing. You know what is भारत? भारत का मतलब पता है? इंडिया नहीं और I.N.D वो वाला तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं. भारत का मतलब क्या है? भा means light, rat means revealing. Those people living in that land who are revealing in light. Light means knowledge for us, light which removes darkness. So those people who are revealing, रमे हुए हैं, रत हैं, intoxicated in light. अब उसको तुम आत्म तत्व बोलो, भगवान बोलो, जो कुछ भी बोलो. That land is called Bharat. You are already born on that. Plus a human birth, plus interest in scriptures, plus having a Guru Maharaj or going to satsangs here and there. एक ही स्टेप बाकी है, लग जाओ उसके पीछे. Don't get distracted by the world. Don't get distracted by the world. So enough of that pep talk. And therefore, labdhva kathanchan narajanma durlabham tatrapi punstvam shruti paradarshanam yastvat muktau nayateta moodadhihi sahyatmaha swam vinihantya sadgrahat. Somehow, for whatever karmas we have done, we have got the human body, human birth, and which is very hard for anyone to gain. नारद भगवान की स्टोरी है. संत दर्शन से क्या होता है? You may have heard it, but others may not have heard it. So once Bhagwan Narad Muni asked Narayana, what is satsang? He says, Bhagwan Narayana is also very funny. He doesn't answer. He says, hey, I just remembered something. You have to go down to that country, in that garden, and in that tree there is a caterpillar. And he went, अच्छा भगवान ने क्यों भेजा है? He went, spider or caterpillar or whatever. He put the bark of the leaf away. Hey caterpillar, how are you? The moment he saw Narad Muni, he died. Narad Muni came back to Narayana. He said, यार आपने मेरे को भेजा. He died. He said, अच्छा फिर से चले जाओ. Again, कहाँ? Same tree. Comes to the same tree. And just see that there is the parrot is giving birth, has laid some eggs, and the egg is just going to hatch. So go there. He goes there. The moment the baby parrot comes out of the egg, half body has come out, only the head has come out. चिल्ला रहा है. The eyes fall on Narad Muni, he also dies. Here, because of I'll have to atone for it. Because of me, deaths are happening. Comes back to Narayana. Bhagavan, what is this? You are making everyone I go to, they are dying. He said, "Acha, now you go to the same kingdom, in the king's cowshed, palace cowshed. There is a cow, and go there." He goes there. The cow is giving birth to a calf. The calf comes out, stands on its feet, एकदम scrawny little legs, and suddenly looks at Narad ji, immediately dies. ये तो गौ हत्या हो गई अभी. Naraji is so disturbed. He says, Narayana, what are you doing? I'll have to atone for this death. I'll have to do years of tapasya because Gau Hatya. He says, Acha, sorry yaar, but last time, go to the king's palace. The child is being born. Narad Muni comes, the child is born, and Narad Muni says, he says, I will bless the child privately in one room. I will not do it in front of everyone because he is afraid. Everyone has been dying. If this child also dies, the king and everyone, they will be after him. So he can escape. So he takes the child, they give the child, bring the child to the room, and everyone goes out. And the child comes, is in the hands of Narad Muni. And Narad Muni looks, but the child doesn't die. The child doesn't die. Instead, this newly born child is speaking to Narad Muni. He says, what did I do to get your grace? I was a worm, you came and graced me. Then I took birth as a bird, you came and graced me. Then I took birth as a calf, higher evolution, you graced me. Now I am a human being, and again you have come and graced me and come to bless me. This is Satsang. This is the greatness of coming across great masters, realized masters. So here he says that after having first human body is very difficult, now we have got it, and after having human body, if we do not strive for realization, if we don't strive for God realization or self-realization, you are a foolish person. You are scriptures clearly say you are stupid. You remember what the word was? Yastvatma muktau na yatet moodha dhihi. Moodha bolte hai na? Mood buddhi. You are a moodha. If you have not continuously yatatam, striving for what? Self-realization or God realization. Sa hyatmaha swam vinihantya sadgrahat. Such a person, which person? The foolish person. If he is not striving for self-realization, what is he committing? Sa hi atmaha swam. He is committing suicide while living. He is a living dead. Who is living dead? The one who only lives for the body, who only living at the sensory level. See, Ravan was also living, he had 10 heads. What were the 10 heads? 5 karmendriyas, speech, hands, legs, genitals and anus. And 5 karmendriyas, jnanendriyas. What are they? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. He was the master of them. He had controlled them. That's why he could control the 3 worlds. He was the master of 3 worlds. He had defeated Indra. But in the end, he had not merged into the divine. He had only controlled them. See? So, this yoga retreat which is going on one hand, it is to control your faculties, and this satsang is about transcending the faculties. To recognize, to realize that you are not the body, that you are the spirit, that you are the consciousness. If you don't come to realize this in this life, you are committing suicide. Atmahatya, Atmahi. What will happen if you don't realize? If you have come to one satsang also, you will be born as a human being. But question is, what is your thought going to be when you are going to, when the death comes? Bharat Maharaj, he died, he was a king. He was a king of India. And then he gave the kingdom to his son and went to the jungle. 10,000 years he meditated on Om Namo Narayanaya. And then you know the story. Suddenly he heard a roar of a lion, a tiger, and he opens his eyes with the roar. She deer, she is afraid of that roar and she jumps because the tiger is running after her. She jumps over the river, and while she is jumping over the river, she gives birth to a fawn, a baby deer. And he says, "Hore, Bhagwan opened my eyes. There must be a reason for this." And he goes and rescues the baby deer. And now that baby deer, he is the father, he is the mother, he is everything. So get some milk, give milk little to it. As the deer grew, now he used to go every day to cut the fresh grass, the top part of the grass, and feed it to the deer. And the deer doesn't know anyone else except Bharat Maharaj. Now, as he is taking care of this baby deer, his japa is becoming less after 10,000 years of doing japa. And a time comes when the body is going to go. And when the time is going to do Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana. But when the last breath comes, in those few years, he got attached to the deer. And at that last breath, he didn't think of Om Namo Narayana. He thought, what will happen to my deer? And next birth of Bharat Maharaj was deer. But where did he find himself? In an ashram. With full knowledge of his past life, because of the japa that he had done, he had the knowledge of the past life. And within few years, as he grew adult deer, he was listening to the Vedic mantras, he was listening to the Satsang, he was the favorite of the Mahatma. You go to Sringeri, you will see there is a baby, there is an elephant, there is deers, there are peacocks, all of them listening to Satsang all the time. Go sometimes. I even seen in Haldwani in Hada Khan Baba Ashram, when the Aarti begins, all the dogs of the street, they come. And when the Aarti is going on, they are going, Ahu, Ahu, they will also chant. And when the Aarti is over, all of them will do Sashtang Namaskar, all the dogs. And they will wait for the prasad. And then they will go away. It's भटकी कुछ गलती की थी किसी महात्मा ने वहां पे आया but that deer Bharat ji became deer, and consciously he stopped eating and drinking, and his mind was stuck on the divine because of the satsangs he was listening. And next birth he got it as human birth. He was born as Jada Bharat. And he was born realized. Why I am giving you all these different stories and examples? So that it impresses on your mind the rarity of the human birth. That you are a rare one. You got a window of opportunity to be born in India, born a human being, interested in yoga, scriptures, etc., listening to satsang. Now, if you don't strive to what the satsang is telling you, you are committing suicide. Don't make that mistake. Somewhere in the back of your mind, we are not saying go, sab kuch chhod ke sab karo. No. Let everything go on. But one part of your mind keeps contemplating on the divine. Bhagwan ka naam. So in this manner, then what is to be done? Here it says that the scripture is saying, don't waste this opportunity. Itah ko nasti mudhatma yastu swarte pramadyati durlabham manusham deham prapya tatrapi paurusham. Is there a greater fool than a human being who neglects what? Mudhatma, who is he? Who neglects his efforts to rediscover himself. We think we are born. We think we are going to die. We think we are the body. We think we are a punyatma or papatma. because our attention is on those things. But are we really that? Or are we someone else? When we come to satsang now, tomorrow that will start. This was all a preparation so that you get inspired about it, about this path. So, is there a fool that he doesn't put efforts to rediscover himself to be not other than God or divine or Atma? Uh, and having once got this, durlabham manusham deham prapya tatrapi paurusham, and even after having got this human birth, and also he is not thinking about it. So here now, what is required once you have once we have come to the satsang, we listen to the satsang, we come to the yoga, then what are the means that we will talk about in our next class? What are the means for discovering that we are the pure consciousness, for discovering that we are the divine, for discovering that we are of the nature of pure happiness every given moment. We have never become miserable. We cannot be miserable. This is a big joke. And all that we will talk slowly, we'll unfold it in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om. Just sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om.